morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Tankenstein, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the Focke Wulf 189A1. Now, I got this a couple of months back, about a month ago, and this is one of the first battles I did in it, and best way to put it is, I'm in love with this thing, because as you're going to see, it's manoeuvrable at all speeds. So this is an excellent battle. So I thought I'll record it and see how it goes. So armament is it's an I'm not sure what it is, but I think it's the armament are in the nose cap, so there and there. That's where the ornament, the forward facing are. The rear is there and there. But the interesting thing about the rear, that I find the most interesting about this thing, is that it's able to rotate 360 degrees. That rear one, mind you. That's the most fascinating thing about this machine. It's also got 4 50-kilogram bombs, which make not a lot really, they're not powerful. In air matches they're good for knocking out ground targets, pillar bolts, etc., but not good in spaces. But the best thing about this, I find, is its manoeuvrability, as we're going to see. So as we can see, there's a TB. I dumped the bombs to make myself more manoeuvrable, although that was me just getting used to the system, as this at least, because I needed to work out, okay, what is this, this thing, it's good. I initially started going for what's good TV devastating. I saw Hampton, and I thought that thing can pose a major threat, so I turned towards it, because I did not get time at about here compared to that. I did not know which variant it was, and I prioritised it as the bigger threat over the Devastator. And as that soon turned out to be correct. So I'm manoeuvring into a good, reasonable position to attack is what I hope. So just increase it. So yeah, there, I can turn. It's not a good idea to get your opponent 6, but I'm just firing, just still getting used to the guns at this point. So there's its manoeuvrability. It's brilliant. Manoeuvrability is boom. It's excellent. I then fire a couple of bursts at him, pretty much silencing his gunners and damaging. I damage him. I turn away to try and get another attack angle, and he turns in straight towards me. I fire, causing a bit more damage, but then I fire again. And again, he's got his rear gun, his upper gunner, his right flaps are gone. I then fire again, still trying it, and I kill his pilot, at which point that essentially, I accidentally deploy flaps, so I end up losing flaps. But that is it. Yeah, I end up losing all my flaps, which was a shame. I'm just going to pause it here. TBD and I on a collision course. I'm going to go to his perspective. Can't find him. He's trying to do it. He's got what, 2 grand machine guns, I think. Just to watch it from his perspective. Still closing. I open up on him and we kind of damage each other. But the end result was essentially, go back to my perspective. Quick pause here. He did the head on, and to his credit, he did his best to actually damage me a bit. But because the TVD is a single engine plane, whereas a double engine, it's essentially got the centre with the engines on either side. The Devastator is a single engine plane, so essentially what that means is that one it's going to be easier for your shots to find the target, whereas with 2, you're going to have to struggle to put out the engines in essentially, well, I mean, to be honest, it's a mixed bag, because if you aim for engines, then it's kind of like, okay, well, they're not going to get very far. And I think I selected, where's it going to get it to land? But I think what I selected was, maybe it was armored targets for this one. This is my first game in it. First game. So, it went pretty well. Basically, I reloaded, yeah, still getting used to it, but essentially, my first impressions of this thing is, I love it. I love it. That's the best way to describe it, is I love it. So, currently, it's only available on the gadget market, which, last time I checked, when I got it, it was 30 gadget, which is, what, $30, maybe £30, well, actually, £27. When I got it, mind you. Of course, its price may increase or decrease, because the funny thing about the gadget market is, it's a market, it's kind of like the stock market, which, if you're interested in business, in how stock markets work, just take GCSE business. But, because the prices, they go up and they go down. And in the real world, some companies are affected by the stock market, so some may invest heavily in one company. However, when that company goes bust, they lose all their money. This is, it's not occurred in history, but while in history, this is a bit of a historical lesson, but in 1929, the stock market crashed, essentially meaning that people's savings, they'd put money into the stock market, which, as essentially, best way to put it is, it swings around about the stock market. Some days you get good hits where it goes up, and so does your money, and other times it goes down, which means you lose money. And in 1929, the stock market crashed, and essentially meaning that people everywhere were affected. Even ordinary people who had invested money, but there were people who had invested thousands, into the stock market. That was wiped out entirely, wiped out. Savings gone, and everywhere globally, it affected you globally. So, regardless of what happened, globally, the stock market had gone. So, you'd lost your money. And it was, the funny thing about the stock market is essentially, it's kind of, we've got the gadget market, which is, it is the stock market, but in the War Thunder and Crossout industry, in those two games, it's the stock market for them. So, Tankenstein has done a video, I believe, explaining about the gadget market, at least, how to use gadget coins. So I suggest you check out his video on that, which I will put a link to it in the description below, if anyone is interested in stock market, functional, how to use the gadget market. So I think this is a good time to end the video. We do end up winning, which is obviously an excellent thing, but I end up taking 4th place in this machine, which its best way to describe is, it's agile, it's manoeuvrable, those are the same words, aren't they? But it's able to basically catch up with bombers that are on its level, i.e. the altitude wise. So it's a wonderful machine, to be honest. I like it a lot. So yeah, and there's the turret rotation action. So I'm just gonna show it to you guys. Yeah, basically a turret, that thing on a cone, it rotates.